I'm Harold Peterson of Lucid IT. I'm one of the founding directors of the Lucid IT organization back in 2001. And in 2006 I came to Asia, where I've become director of Lucid IT Southern Berhad over here. Not only am I a director of the organization, but also principal consultant. And what that means is that I help my customers achieve real cultural change and transformation in their IT department. I'm a trusted consultant in the area of implementation of service management, IT governance, and PMOs and project management best practices. You become trusted by being a voice of reason in the midst of this myriad of so-called best practice. So you need to make it real for people. And secondly, you need to make sure that you achieve results. And you listen to the customer, you understand the customer, you don't come up with some sort of vanilla ITIL blurb, but you're able to translate it to their situation and then achieve the results thereafter, which could be better discipline, better control, could be better cost effectiveness, doing more with less or doing more with the same, and it could be improved service levels. Now, you become trusted only if you can prove that you can achieve some successes. So that's a bit of a journey. You can't be trusted on day one of a new assignment with a customer. What keeps them awake at night is all about a number of aspects. IT needs to be run at appropriate cost, so cost is a big issue. But also, IT needs to achieve the right service levels and the right business alignment. Issues around service levels keep them awake at night. The other thing, compliance, increasingly important. Compliance and risk management. Now those are the so-called measurable, rational sides. But another thing that is really important around IT management is customer satisfaction. It is possible to achieve service levels and measurably be in the green, but still not have a satisfied customer in business units. The reason is that if you don't manage perceptions, if you don't have a service management culture, if you don't go out there and share your successes and also share your understanding of additional requirements of the business, then the customer may still not be satisfied even though you achieve your agreed service levels. Similarly, the softer side in the IT department is important. Staff satisfaction. Quite interesting, in messy, unorganized organizations, IT organizations, staff may well be quite unhappy because they work long hours, they work really hard, and still they don't achieve the satisfaction and the service levels and the sense of I've done a good job. Nor do they have clarity about what are the different roles I may take on in the future. And it's astounding to know how much money and service level that is costing the IT department. Challenges around management of technology are about business alignment and service levels. The real challenge that needs to be overcome is not implement ITIL or using any form of best practice, but we need to improve service levels and improve the value of our services to the business, achieve return on investment on the IT costs. The other side of that is, of course, achieve cost effectiveness in total cost of ownership of IT. Increasingly important in recent years, of course, compliance and risk management. So all of these three things are big challenges for technology senior management. Aside from those rational challenges, if you like, there are some other challenges, and they're in the area of customer satisfaction and employee satisfaction. You can achieve service levels, you can achieve the targets of your SLAs, but at the same time you could still have dissatisfied customers if you don't breathe an air of, or you don't have a culture of real service. Your people, when they engage the business, they need to communicate, they need to understand their requirements, not only for now but also for the future. And other than that, they need to clarify and demonstrate their successes. So they need to manage perceptions and they need to be aware of and supporting customer satisfaction. Interestingly, a lot of senior technology managers do not realize how important staff satisfaction is. Staff are often dissatisfied in a situation where the IT department is messy, always under pressure, extremely busy, and in spite of all that hard work, still not achieving customer satisfaction. It's very hard for those staff to know, when do I do a good job? After a long, hard day's work, have I done the right thing? Plus, if I work really hard for a year in this role, what sort of career opportunities are there for me? If there's lack of clarity in the IT organization about their processes, their service levels, their targets, their mission, etc., then it's very, very hard for individuals to get a sense of satisfaction out of their job. Our combined service offering can help with all of that. It can help on the level of senior management, and it can help on the level of operational IT management staff. It can help in the people side, it can help in the customer service side, and it can help in the sheer understanding and embedding of processes, governance and best practices. I've got quite a significant background in managed services and outsourcing, both sides of the fence. Before I co-founded Lucid IT, I worked in outsourcing organization, one of the big global outsourcing organizations, and I was responsible for managing services towards some customers. Before that, however, I worked for a couple of banks, and in both of those roles in banks, I actually had a role at the other side of the fence, managing outsourcing contracts. Now, what I've come to learn is, in that time, is how you feel at both sides of the fence, and really what you need to do is create an alignment, because at the end of the day, if a customer wants to outsource part of its IT services, the reality is you bring people into your kitchen. If you bring people into your kitchen, you need to be able to manage that kitchen together. You need to find some sort of blending, some sort of partnership, yet at the same time, a customer needs to make sure that they can control the outsourcer, and the outsourcer needs to make sure that they still make money. Now, in the years within Lucid IT, we've helped a number of customers, and I've also presented a number of papers and around this topic. And the presentation titles in some of my conference presentations are garbage in, garbage out. What I mean by that is, if you look to outsource part of your IT services, but you don't really know what you're managing and how you're controlling that environment at present, then you don't really know how you want to outsource it and how you want to control it when it's owned and managed by someone else. So that is an example of garbage in, garbage out. Best practices such as ITIL, MSP, Prince2 to manage a couple of stages around the outsourcing process. In the RFP stage, but also in the transition stage, and also in the business as usual delivery stage of an outsourcing contract, you need to make sure that you know what you're outsourcing. So you need to define what is the scope of the services, what are the control measures such as KPIs, and also what are the different roles of the in-house departments as well as the single or multiple outsourced units. Now, in your transition from a current situation to a target outsourced situation, you need to make sure that you know how to manage a transition and manage that in a holistic sense. So not just hand over a bunch of technology and let the outsourcer do it the way they should be specialized. Now, you need to make sure that you clearly and holistically transfer the technology, including the support processes, perhaps people, and certainly governance and KPI mechanisms. So you need to make sure that A, you define that, B, you transition that in a program or a project approach, and C, you can manage and control that in an ongoing sense once you've achieved BAU. Now, this is a journey, and it's not a journey that will be 100% without any challenge. But if you know how to manage that journey, if you know how to define the target situation, manage transition, and control and continuously improve a BAU situation, then you're able to at least control it and move towards that partnership that you're after. Not garbage in, not garbage out.